The text from my wife came in just before lunch on an ordinary Thursday. I was at my desk, half focused on spreadsheets, half counting down the minutes until I could step away. "I'm going on a work trip with my boss this weekend," Lauren wrote. Before I could process that, another message followed. "We'll probably be out of phone range most of the time, so don't worry if I can't answer." Her boss was Mark, longtime employee, respected, married, 2 kids, the kind of man people described as solid. On the surface, there was nothing unusual about 2 co-workers traveling together. It happens every day. But for 6 months, something inside me had been quietly unraveling. Late-night messages she'd tilt her phone away to answer. Family plans cancelled because of last-minute meetings, calendar events that never showed up on the shared work schedule we used to compare notes. Every time I asked about it, Lauren would smile gently and tell me I was overthinking. And after a while, I started wondering if maybe I was. So this time, I didn't argue. "Have a great trip," I replied. She sent back a smiley face, simple, casual, final. That evening, I was sorting through household paperwork, trying to find an insurance document. I logged into our shared email, the one we used for bills, travel confirmations, anything family-related. Right at the top sat a hotel confirmation. It wasn't addressed to Lauren, it was addressed to Mark. It looked like it had been forwarded there by mistake while they were organizing travel details. I didn't go searching for it. It was just there. A single large suite. 2 guests. Friday evening check-in. I stared at the screen for a long time, hoping I was misreading it, hoping there was a conference I didn't know about, a group booking, anything. Instead of reacting, I decided to verify. I checked the company website. No conference, no client meetings, no corporate events in that city that weekend, nothing. I saved a copy of the confirmation and closed the laptop. For months, I had been living with a feeling. That night, the feeling had a document attached to it. The next morning, I remembered meeting Mark's wife, Rebecca, at a company dinner the year before. She was warm, thoughtful, proud of her husband. I sat at the kitchen table for almost an hour, staring at my phone, thinking about what I would want if the roles were reversed. I didn't want revenge. I didn't want drama. I wanted truth. So I forwarded the hotel confirmation to an old email address Rebecca had once used for a charity event. I wrote one sentence. "Is this your husband?" That was it. No accusations, no commentary, just a question. I put my phone on silent and made coffee. 10 minutes later, the silence exploded. Lauren called, then Mark, then Lauren again. A message came from Rebecca. "Thank you. I'm trying to understand what's going on. Please don't speak to anyone else until I talk to him." Then I listened to Lauren's voicemail. Her voice was shaking. She was crying. "Please pick up. This isn't what it looks like." Before I could decide what to do, I received a call from an unfamiliar number. It was the company's HR director. Calm, careful. "I'm not calling about anyone's personal life," she said, "but there are questions about a work travel arrangement. We need to clarify some facts." The weekend hadn't even started, and already the story was collapsing. That evening, after HR confirmed there was no official company event planned at that hotel, Lauren came home. Her suitcase was still in the car. "The trip was cancelled," she said quietly. On the kitchen table, I had placed the printed confirmation beside 2 cups of coffee. She didn't sit down. "Rebecca knows, doesn't she?" she asked. "Yes," I said. "She knows exactly what I know, nothing more." Lauren closed her eyes, not in anger, in recognition. The truth had reached someone else without me shouting it. We sat in silence before she finally spoke. The trip wasn't real. It had started as a small meeting suggestion from Mark. Then it became a "why not stay the weekend?" He told her no one would question it. They travelled often enough that it wouldn't raise suspicion. She said she liked the attention, the feeling of being chosen. She told herself she would stop before anything serious happened. She told herself she could manage it. I kept thinking I'd pull back, she said, but every step made the next one easier. I listened without interrupting. Then I asked, when did being honest with me become less important than protecting the story? She didn't answer. Sometimes silence is more truthful than anything words can offer. The weeks that followed were heavy. We spoke to lawyers, not because we were certain we'd separate, but because we needed to understand reality. We met with a counselor who helped us say the things we had both avoided for years. The company conducted its investigation. I stayed out of it. My concern wasn't her job. It was our foundation. In counseling, I had to face something uncomfortable. I had known something was wrong long before the hotel booking. I felt it, but I avoided pressing too hard because I was afraid of what I might find. Lauren admitted that every small lie blurred the next one. Work excuses spilled into home life. She stopped noticing the line she was crossing. 2 years have passed. People sometimes ask if I sent that email out of revenge. I tell them no. If I wanted revenge, I would have humiliated them publicly. I would have spread rumors. Instead, I sent a real document to the one other person who deserved the truth as much as I did. When I texted Lauren, "Have a great trip," I wasn't being passive-aggressive. I was letting go of control. Adults make choices, and choices carry consequences. The phone calls that day didn't happen because of my email. They happened because of months of quiet decisions that built towards something unsustainable. In the end, a hotel reservation didn't destroy our marriage. It simply revealed how far honesty had drifted from our home. And sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do isn't to shout the truth. It's to place it gently on the table and let everyone decide what they're going to do with it.